Alright, and we are live. Alright, so welcome to my Dragon Poker Dragon Ace tutorial. Let's see, if you're watching this video, either you already have an idea of where to get this game, and if you don't have any idea where to get this game, I have links to the Android APK, which you can sideload on any Android device out there. And I also have links to the Singapore iTunes account where you can download the English version of this game. So first things first, let's get started. I'll wait for it to load. Gotta connect with the server to get all my data and stuff. So as we wait for that to load. Alrighty then, so when you first load up the game, this is the home screen. So you have your basic status bar at the top, and then these little numbered tabs here. That's your visual representation of your friends list. Have up to, what is it, 30 friends on your list? You can have up to 30. I'm pretty sure it's 30. Let's see, and then you have, and then right below that you have your little information bar. Like you have things like notices, updates, campaigns, gifts, and then you have, let's see, Dragon Gem counter, which currently I have 28, and then you have your list of dungeons, any special dungeons, and then Colosseum, which is only open once every 2 weeks. And then at the bottom we've got our other stuff, which I'll get into more in depth with. So at first, when you're looking at the top bar, so you have basically your status. So you have name on the left side. You have the name, your current level, and then the current amount of cards you're currently holding. So I have 54, and currently my maximum is at 105. If you pay Dragon Gems, you can increase the cost. You can basically carry more cards for, I think, every one Dragon Gem you put in. I think you increase it by 5. And then next to that you have your HP, which is your HP when you're in a dungeon or when you're in Colosseum. That's your numerical amount. You never really see it in a numerical amount outside of the home screen. And then right below that is your XP, so it's what you currently have versus what you need to level up. And then right below it is the stamina point. Stamina point, so basically for every dungeon that you do or every round of Colosseum you do, it takes a certain amount of stamina depending on what level you're at. And like what level dungeon you're currently doing. And then to the right of that we have your gold count, Dragon Gem count, and SP meter. So the gold is mainly used just for strengthening your cards. So you basically feed like evolution materials and other feeders to power up your cards. And each time you do that, it costs a certain amount based on what level they are. And then below that, the Dragon Gems is basically this game's version of premium currency. So every time you log in, there's a chance that they'll just give you one right off the bat, or if there's a special event going on, if there's a special campaign or whatnot, they'll give you something like 10, 20. Dude, this game just gives them out like candy. So this game I feel is not really pay to play, but more it's like if you're really patient and you just hold on to all your gems, then you can really just go to town and just keep rolling the Gatcha and just increase your deck power by getting better cards. Okay, so below that is your SP meter. So Dragon Ace is basically based on version 1.0 of Dragon Poker, and back in those old days, like they had it so that every time you use any of your SP skills in battle, like that meter would just stay depleted. But currently in current version Dragon Poker, which is 2.12, they just refill it at the end of every battle. So you don't have to really worry about having like managing your SP at the end of every battle. I mean, in Dragon Ace you have to, because it's based on the old system, but in the current version of Dragon Poker you don't have to worry about that at all. But in this version, keep an eye on that. So next up is the friends list. So this is basically a visual representation of all the friends on your list. So like sometimes like you'll get like push notifications, like if you have a friend that's doing a dungeon, you want to jump in with them, you can just just tap on their icon. It would be great if hold on, let me see if someone on my list is doing one. I don't think so at the moment though. Otherwise I would have seen something. Otherwise my dungeon would be flashing with something. But basically you can use this to like view other people's decks and whatnot. So in this case, you tap on a friend info, and then you get what their ace is, what the current level they are, their HP, all that stuff, and what their current ace skill is. If you go under details, you can get like what their deck consists of. So I guess in this version, like my deck is it's serviceable, but it's not good. But it's like I got Snow White, I got a couple other crappy cards. I did just recently get Mermaid and Lamia. But yeah, everything else is just a throwaway. I'm gonna replace those pretty soon. And then you can just view your entire friends list from there. But yeah, if they're available for chat, the chat will light up. Or if you want if you want to jump into whatever dungeon they're doing, then you can just use the team up button, and then you can just jump in with whatever dungeon they're at. So the total deck power is basically the numerical value of your entire deck, like how strong it is. So that number can get ridiculously high, and it starts out pretty low. Let's see. So next up would be these little middle buttons here. So if we check out dungeon real fast. So you have three choices. So you can play with everybody, which is basically just drop into a pickup game. If you do play with friends, if you have any friends, someone on your friends list currently playing, you can jump into whatever dungeon they're in. And then the third one is play with nearby friends. So if you're trying to do like a local co-op game with just like people around you, you can actually just start a game, and then everyone who jumps in will give you a boost, and only one person uses stamina. So you can basically have a full party of 5 people and only one person using stamina for that dungeon, and the other 4 doing special party boosts like double XP, double gold, or half SP cost for skills, things like that. But that's actually really good. It's a really good way to level up, especially if you know a lot of people who play locally. You can just team up with them. So let's just jump into a game. So when you get into a normal dungeon, right? So it's like you just have so you start normally. Most people will start at level 1, right? And if they start the game fresh, you get like basically each dungeon gets harder and harder, like each time you clear a set of dungeons. And basically, so I think it goes from 1 to, I think version 1.0 is I want to say 30 star dungeons, maybe 40. It's the red star dungeons that are maxed out all the way, so I think it's 30. But currently, I think in 212 Dragon Poker, I think it goes up to like 50, 51, 52 now. Something ridiculous like that. They just added like 3 or 4 more dungeons not too long ago. But anyways, so when you start a dungeon, right? So it's just like you get into one. So each level of dungeon, at least when you first start out, there's a selection of 6 of them, maybe, yeah, 6 of them that you have to clear. So 6 of them to clear in order to get to the next level. When you get to level 20 and higher, it's like only 3 dungeons per, and they're all high level dungeons. But so basically, you start out with so the first 2 will be easy, then the next 2 will be medium level, and then the last 2 will be hard. But you'll see that each one has a specific color. So let's take, for example, this red one, right? So it'll show you what monster the boss is right here and everything, right? So in this case, the boss is going to be a bandit bat, probably going to be max level 15. You get to see his skills and what his stats are. You can actually like look at all the other monsters you'll encounter in this dungeon, but pretty much what you can do is you can just jump into a dungeon, go at it, and battle your way out. Or you can spend a gem. You can do one of 3 options on the left-hand side. So either you can have SP, you can get double XP in battle, or in this case, if you decide to do a special dungeon, you can actually increase the special point dungeon, or the special points that you get from a dungeon. So since we're doing a regular dungeon, I'm just gonna burn a gem right now for double XP. Alright, so we're just gonna, actually, I should probably just do one I haven't cleared yet. Do the hard dungeon. So I haven't done this one yet. So basically, I guess I could just show you how co-op gameplay works in this. So hopefully some actual real people will jump in, but at this point I'm just, freaking playing with CPU right now. So first thing that you'll notice is that you only face a maximum of three enemies at a time, right? So nothing, you're not going to get any more than 3 at a time. So we see here we have 2 pairs on the floor right now. So I have a chance to full house it. So you basically just choose one of 4 cards that pop up in your hand, and based on those 4 cards, you just try to just make a hand with your 5 other people on your team. And that's pretty much the whole point of the game right there. But the hardest part is, since you have no real way to communicate with people, is just you just gotta hope that your team is just on point. That everybody's thinking on the same track at the very least. So in this case, I see blue, jack, king, and then a red ace, right? So in this case, should be looking for the queen, just to get that straight. So in this game, you can actually do 4 cards straight. So in this case, jack, queen, king, ace is actually a legitimate straight. So either you can double up on one of the cards in the middle, or you can double up wherever. But you don't need a full complete 5 card straight in order for it to be a straight. So another thing you can do in these battles is you can actually do side bets to increase the amount of gold that you get. So I'm putting in 800 side bet right now. So depending on what kind of hand we put together, which I don't think will be very good, I might just get back what I put in. But based on the hand that you put together, you get anywhere from twice as much to 10 times as much. So in this case, flush, I got ×3 back on my side bet, which isn't too bad, especially in the beginning, like when you're first starting out, because gold is pretty important in terms of trying to evolve your entire, like, allow all your monsters in your deck or whatever. Oh, so in that case, actually, what just happened there was a specific fusion. So certain cards, they'll give you specific, like, you'll get specific combinations where they'll do like a big team attack or a big team boost or whatever. Unless, you know, oh, actually no. In this old version, it doesn't matter if you skill guarantee or not, so they'll still throw it at you. But in the newer version, if one of the 2 that's supposed to fuse and they do a skill guarantee, then it won't go, because skill guarantee takes priority in the newer version. So in this case, I'll show you what's the deal with this. So with skill guarantee, right? So each card that has a little icon in the upper right hand corner, that is that's basically a skill. So you can spend 30 SP and you can guarantee your skill to come out. So in this case, with my ghost ship, I have a level 1 stabbing attack. So I can spend 30 and then guarantee that he'll do his special attack. Versus if you just threw it out, like, there would be a small chance that I'd be able to. I think it's like a 25% chance, 10% chance, something like that. It's something low if you don't guarantee it. But yeah, it's one of the more important skills to have in the game. So in this case, jack, queen, I feel like I guess I'll throw landing out. So whenever possible, try to get the skill guarantee card as fast as you can. It's one of the special treasures that you're supposed to, the secret missions that you're supposed to complete in order to get. I'll go over those in a sec after this. Oh, we did get someone to jump in. So, straight. Petrify plus heal. Not bad. Could be better. Oh, and then another thing with the side bets is that you can only make them once per round. Nice. Jesus. Let's go with the 8. I probably could have shuffled, but I just didn't. Just work with the 2 pair or whatever that might just come out. 8s and aces in this case. Eights and aces, totally called it. Let's see. Oh, and another thing, actually, you can sort of kind of communicate with your teammates if you use your shouts. So in this case, it's like you want. Oh, just bring it on! Come on! 3. Oh, I can do full house. I'll do full house. But yeah, you can actually edit some of these later, which is great. So yeah, you can tell people to aim left, aim right, go for a full house, convert these cards, stuff like that. I got gold out of that. So yeah, usually, like, when you finish one of these dungeons, there's a small chance, there's a chance that you'll get a treasure for a secret mission, which I'll go over in just a sec. Oh yeah, I leveled up on that. Sweet. And then buddy board there is where you can post to your current teammates if they want to see it. And then previous party members, you can send a friend request if you want. So if I decide to friend them, just go ahead and push it and send an invite to them. And if they accept it, they'll be added to your list. Alright, so thing to go over next. Secret missions. So in every... oh shit, I'm getting a tutorial here. Oh jeez. Okay, well, subcards, alright. I might as well go over this. Okay, so in your deck, so basically you can, when you reach a certain level, in this case I just hit level 30, so my ace can now take a subcard. So each card in the game has a main ability and a sub ability. So let's see. So basically the higher your cards get, the more cards you can slot in. So in this case at level 30 I can only slot in once. And each time I slot in a subcard, it will actually increase the cost of that. So your deck basically has a set amount of points that you can put into it, and you can't go over that. Otherwise, you can't put that card in. Let's see. Okay, so anyways, whatever in-game tutorial. Okay, so subcard. So basically, with subcards is you gotta. Can I not put one in? Can't even put one in yet. Okay, well, I'm not strong enough yet, but at level 6, yeah, so basically based on the level of your card, you can start slotting in subcards. So your first slot will usually be 60, level unlockable at 60, your second slot will be 90, and then your last slot will be, oh no, your fourth slot will be 120, and then your last slot will be 150. And then it basically repeats for all 3 colors. Let's see, so, well, I can't really do subcards just yet. But basically every card has a sub-ability. So in this case, take a look at Snow White, for example. So, target all, level 2, right? So Link skill, so with Link skills in this game, is like, her ability by itself does nothing, right? But it has to latch on to another card that's blessed out with another ability. So either via skill guarantee, or if nobody else did a skill guarantee, it'll just randomly pick whoever, right? And then you know, you'll grant that card an AoE ability that will hit everything. Like take for example if Snow White linked up with Lamia here, right? So click on her. So her petrifying link usually only hits one target, right? But if it links with AoE, it'll hit all 3. So if I decide to put, for example, Lamia as a sub card for Snow White, which I probably wouldn't do, but just for an example, right? So sub skill, petrify level skill up 4, right? So really in this case, actually, you know what? Lamia would actually be a really good sub for herself, because it will raise the power 20% with at least a straight of her ability. So she'll do petrifying link, and then it'll increase the power of that skill by 20%. Which in this case, it will probably increase the chances of petrifying and won't actually do any damage. Because petrify just freezes the enemy and makes them lose a turn. So I guess in this hand, let's see. So actually, okay, so while we're here in the deck screen, right? So it's like you basically have your stats. You have your fire attack, your water attack, and force attack, right? So basically this game only has those three suits: fire, water, forest. So red, blue, green. It isn't really anything more complicated than that. And then basically, like, your ace, when you play in a dungeon or a Colosseum, your ace is always going to be that card. Like, it's not going to change numbers or anything. Like, it won't scramble around. The rest of the cards, on the other hand, will change their values like each time you play. But like once they're given a value in game, they're stuck with that value for the entire match or the entire duration until you start another dungeon or another Colosseum match. But yeah, those numbers are randomly assigned between your other cards that you have. So 3, 6, 7, 8, 10. So your other 12 cards, basically, you get assigned a value of 2 to king randomly. So what we're looking at right now is my main deck, which I use for dungeons and stuff. And then there's a specific screen to build your Colosseum deck. So Colosseum in this game is the PvP, the whole 5-player versus 5-player thing. So basically you have a specific deck for that, which I should really probably copy my deck over. Copy your main deck here. So yeah, okay. So it was kind of confusing at first. Like it's weird that copy deck probably wouldn't, you know, copy your deck over from when you're on the main deck. You know, you want to copy it over to Colosseum. You actually have to switch over to Colosseum deck first, and then it'll ask you if you want to switch your main deck over. But usually you want to keep the two in parity unless you have a lot of cards and you just want to like play around with like certain card deck builds. Like I think I should just go over like what my other sub deck build, or my second deck build in the Japanese version, because I've got like I've been toying around with like a Baphomet build, and basically like at the expense of increased damage that I'll take, like I end up doing more damage. But it's something I probably go over when I decided. Well, I don't know if I'm going to cover deck building just yet. It's probably a little too advanced at the moment, since I just want to go over just the basic nuts and bolts of this game. So anyways. So, I guess... Okay, so we already went through dungeon. Kind of went through the cards. Kind of. Okay, so... so we went through the edit deck. So, strengthen. Alright. So, this screen here is basically where you go to power up, like, all your cards in your deck. So, let's see, who's not max level? Kasami's not max level here. So, I basically want to feed her a bunch of... Actually, I've got some stuff I need to evolve. Let me see. So you'll see here, like there are cards that are labeled Evo, like evolution materials, right? So these are what you use to strengthen your cards, and they actually can power each other up. So in this case, the Sparkling Marin here, this S rare, you can actually evolve it with itself with two others, and then you'll make an even bigger one. You'll make the double S one, which is worth I think 15,000 XP, something like that. In the neighborhood of 15,000, I'm pretty sure. So basically, don't try to blow all your Marins and your evolution materials all at once, but just try to feed them into each other until you can make the highest level one. Which in this case with the Marins, it's double S, so it's not going to go any higher than this because it's maxed out. It's maxed out all the way. Oops, I keep messing that up. So I'm going to do that again because I have two more on top of it. So right here is 30k's worth of XP between these two double S Marins that I just made. And I'm probably going to feed them to my Lamia. So, let's do this. Change base. Oops. There you go. So, in this case, you could just use your change base, and then you can just look for your card. It's probably easier than going back to the deck screen. So in this case... So I'm just going to feed these two Marins here, and she's going to get... Oh, if it's only worth 15k, one per one? That's one. Oh, one is only worth 75. Wow. It's kind of weak. Okay, 15k total, so 7,500 each. So you notice that she's going to go from 44 to 51. Single-handedly. So yeah, it's not... Like, the Marins and Skill Fairies are probably the best things to be, to leveling up all the way before you start throwing them in, but... You can also feed her like other crap. Like I was trying to roll for Hellhound earlier, and it's just I got a bunch of garbage that I don't care about, so I'll just feed these flat or whatever. Then you notice that each time that I do an evolution, it costs 41,800 gold coins, whatever. I've got like freaking a million. But yeah, I guess it depends on how you level up or how often you try to level up, but that kind of money, that amount can go by really quickly. Especially if you have a lot of stuff that you want to just throw at it. So that's pretty much leveling up your cards in a nutshell. You just basically do that, but you just do that with the rest of your cards in your deck. Oh, and once they hit max level, you can actually evolve them to the next form. So in this case, I need a bunch of Evo materials, which in this case in this game is the rings. So there's 3 level rings. So there's the regular silver rings you see there. And then there's the gold ones, and then there's the rainbow colored rings. So to get those, you need to actually unlock dungeon level 12, I think. Yeah, you get 3 Evo material dungeons. So it's at level 4, 8, and 12 that you get these Evo material dungeons. And it's the special daily dungeons, and they cycle through colors every day. So actually, let's take a look at that real fast. So say, like, I wanted to evolve my Snow White there, right? So I need to make sure that the dungeons on on green color right now. So let's take a look at the super daily dungeon. So today's daily dungeon. So it's the one at the very bottom. So the super daily dungeon is where you get all your materials. So guaranteed 2 S-ray rings. And the catch rate for rings will be 1 times 5 higher. But skill fairy will not appear. There's a specific actual dungeon for skill fairies. That'll probably be on the weekends with club ed girls, but let's see. Since I need rings, let's just do this. So one of the most important skills in this game is the capture cards, which you can get via the special mission. There's 3 people in here, 2 CPU. And they've already captured this ring. Okay. Since they already, so you see the little card marker above it. That means they've already captured it. So I'm not gonna waste any SP trying to get it. We just gotta get rid of it. Nice, 4 card. Times 8 on the side bets. Pretty good. Alright, so at the start of this round, I'm just gonna do catch all. I'm just gonna capture everything. Alright, so we got 2 gold rings, which I definitely need to evolve my Snow White. So let's see if this guy's gonna do it. If he doesn't do it, then whatever. See, catch all. So, unsuccessful catch attempt there, so let's see. Oh, fail on that one. Alright, my turn. So I'm gonna do catch all up, which uses 70 SP. And I'm gonna go for the full house. I failed on that too. Actually, another thing that I forgot to mention was that, well, I mean, in this case, it should usually just lock onto the center one, but you can actually change your targets by tapping on one of the 3 that you want to attack. So in this case, select her, just to make sure that it won't go on these 2 rings. Because it'd be very bad if I killed one of those 2 rings right now. I guess I'll just play Ghost Ship. Oh, so another thing I actually forgot to mention was, so in this game there's a triangle here. So you notice there, you see that the water beats fire, fire beats forest, and forest beats water. That's basically the game's triangle. So something to keep note of. So whatever enemy you're fighting. So in this case, I'm fighting a green pixie, which is forest green color. So I should probably be using my red cards against it. So actually, I think the percentages is if it's the same color, then it's straight up 100%. If it's a color that it's weak against, it's 150, and then if it's a color that it's strong against, then it's half. So in this case, if I tried to attack this green pixie with the blue card, it would do half damage instead of full damage. Versus then if I did, the same color, it'd be 100% and 150 if I did a fire card. Wow, no one's gonna try to capture again? Okay. Let's try to capture. Check. I don't want to pair it with Ronmar because Ronmar is gonna attack everything. So I guess in this case I was being really selective because I did not want to try to kill those green force rings. But yeah, targeting, especially in ring capture parties, you would definitely want to take advantage of that because you don't want to accidentally kill these Evo materials, which is very costly. I mean, in terms of stamina, this one costs 78, and then the next one is going to be like 114 or something. I go for flush-ish. Possible house flush. Oh, and I didn't try to capture because I don't have enough SP to do the capture. Come on, house flush. No house flush, just regular flush. Alright. Oh, okay, we get one more chance to build up our SP before we can try to do another capture. Oh crap, I died. Okay, so when you die in a dungeon, you have a chance to you have an opportunity to use a dragon gem. Normally, I probably wouldn't take this opportunity, so in this case, I'm just going to select no. But if you really want something and you don't mind burning a gem for it, then go, by all means, go ahead. But you should be saving those gems for mostly just for the gacha rolls, because those are way more important. Either double XP or gacha rolls, way more important than a continue, honestly. Let's see. So that was basically Evo Material Dungeon. You get the rings. Too bad I did not succeed. I only got one of the regular ones. So let's see what's next. Oh, so the view cards menu here. This is where you can pick and sell your cards. So you find stuff that you don't want anymore. Like I don't want those ones that I just got basically. So these trashy end cards that I don't want. So you just hit sell, and then you just select the ones that you want to sell. I'm pretty sure I have a lot more garbage I want to get rid of. And then you can sell up to 10 cards at a time. I guess that's all. Oh wait, no. What's that? So yeah, you can sell 10 cards at a time. You can get gold in exchange for the cards. So in most cases, like especially for those lower level cards, I'd rather just sell them than waste the amount of gold that it would take to, feed them to something and barely get anything out of them. So you'll find yourself doing that way, like down the line, you'll just be throwing away cards like that. They're just worth nothing. Costs more to level you up than it does to actually, sell them. You might as well just sell them. Anyways, Beastiary. So this is where you go to, so when you evolve a card, it'll be added to your Beastiary. And when you do evolve a card, you'll see that, let me see here, I think it was for my mermaid. That was the last card I remember evolving. Let me see. Okay, so for mermaid, right? So I evolved her from her double S form to her SS plus form. So when I click on her, bam, you get 3 dragon gems for the first evolution, and then you get 5 for the next one. I think it's like 3, 4, and then 5, because I know she's got up to god form. But yeah, just even for your junky cards, like, even if you like evolve the regular Marns all the way up, you'll get like 3 each time or something. But yeah, at their maximum rank, you'll get 5 dragon stones back, which is really good. It's a really good way to get gems. Let's see, and then equip SP. Okay, so this is, I guess, where I can go into the nuts and bolts of SP abilities and whatnot. So the ones that I'd probably recommend are basically what I have equipped here. So 100% skill chance basically means that your skill will activate. It doesn't matter if you've been skill sealed or whatnot. You can just spend the SP and just open up with the skill. Let's see, catch multi up. So this one catches 2 enemies at a time. The one I was just using that cost 70 would capture all 3 on the board. Bet Plus is something nice to have, but something that you don't actually need. Like it costs 50 SP, and you can raise the side bets up 2x. So in the last one I was putting in 80, so 80 per 10 times. So I was getting 800. I was getting 800 gold in. If I played Bet Plus and spent 50 SP beforehand, then I can up it to 160 and then get 1600 per side bet. Which in the end actually does make a pretty big difference, but like I said, it's not required. It's not one of the required SP cards, but it's something good to have. And then Catch All Up, I think, it's probably one of the more essential cards. The fact that even though that it does cost a lot of SP, it's really useful. I mean, it gives you a better chance of catching, when you have, like in the last battle that I just did, when I tried to capture the 2 rings, right, and there was still three monsters out, then I just threw out Catch All and just had a chance to capture them all. Like in that situation when there's 3 enemies and you try to catch multi up 2, like you might get the main enemy plus one of the rings instead of both rings. Like you can't pick and choose what you can capture, but with Catch All Up you get rid of that problem completely. And then Shuffle too. Actually, Shuffle in general is really good. So Shuffle, you can get Shuffle 1, 2, 3, and 4, so you can shuffle up to 4 cards in your hand. So what this ability does is that it exchanges 4 cards out of your hand, and it just shuffles in the next 4 that you're supposed to get in your hand, which is really, really useful. So Shuffle 2 in this case will be 2 cards at a time. Definitely useful if you see someone trying to go, like if you see your team trying to go for a specific hand, like if you see a full house draw off 2 pair, then you look at your hand, you got nothing but garbage, right? Like it's kings and aces on the floor, and you want to either do a king or ace, right? In your hand, you got freaking like bullshit, right? You got like 10, you got jack, you got a 2 and a freaking 8, right? So you hit shuffle, it'll change one of those 2 cards randomly, and there's a chance you might get that king or ace. So always good to have, especially in Colosseum. So actually, besides the main SP deck, there's a specific deck in Colosseum, so I could probably actually use that shuffle too. So in Colosseum, you only need to use shuffle and skill chance, really. Everything else is like stuff for fun, like deck a shout, where your shouts are twice as large. 50% skill chance. If you have 100%, don't even bother with 50%. Yeah, so basically, I just use when I'm in Colosseum, I usually just have 100% skill chance, shuffle 2, shuffle 3, shuffle 4. So depending on the situation, depending on how much SP I have an option for shuffle. That's pretty much it, and that's pretty much it for SP cards. So yeah, those are the important ones, and the way that you get them, you gotta do the secret missions. Let me go take a look. This is based on the old version. Oh, that's my gems from the Beastiary check. Let's see. So with the secret missions here, so you have specific cards that you can get by getting the treasure in specific dungeons. So in this case, weakness search will tell you the boss's weakness, what it's weak to, what you should be using. So in this case, 2-star dungeons, right? Oops. So 2-star dungeons, get the treasure at the end of these ones. So the normal one, that one. I didn't get the one in the middle yet, but I never really used weakness search because I've been playing this game for a while, so I do already know most of the weaknesses of most monsters in this game. But yeah, I mean, you get things like specific SP cards. You get dragon gems. Like I gotta do that one. Freaking 6-star noble dungeon, 6-star, 7-star. And then you get rainbow rings out of it too. So Evo materials, shuffle 3, really important, 9-star dungeon. So as you go through the dungeon, you basically just collect all the treasure, and then you get whatever cards. Yeah, and when you complete a mission, it'll automatically start flashing at you saying, "Hey, redeem your prize from this." Yeah, the shuffle 4, this one, really good card to have. So yeah, I mean, just try to do all the missions, and you'll be on your way to being at least having a somewhat decent arsenal. Let's just say, at least in terms of SP cards. All right, next up is special dungeon. So every so often, oh, they're doing missions now. Okay, so every 2 weeks or so, they'll run a special event dungeon where you can, you fight, you go through a specific dungeon, and you get points, and then with those points you redeem them for special event cards. So in this case, we see Sasuke Sarutobi, Saizo Kirigakure, and Hanzo Hattori as the special event cards. So these ones, I think they only go up to S+, maybe. Yeah, I think they start at S and only go up to like SS or whatever. Like they max out at a really low level. Now these are good fillers for beginners, but in the end, unless... actually, I take that back. In the later levels, you might actually want some of these event cards for their sub abilities. So like for example, I think if Amaterasu ever rolls in, which I think should roll in later this year for this version of for Dragon Ace, is so basically Amaterasu. She's by herself. She's not that great of a card. I mean, she does. I think she just gives her main skills like armor, like super armor or whatever. But her sub ability basically is reduced 15% reduced damage on your ace. So just put her in as a sub card. She's like one of the best cards that you have out there. So yeah, good for beginners to put in your deck, and then later down the line, you might want to just pay attention to their sub abilities and then get them. So basically, you can so with most events is that you can get up to 20. So in this case, those S cards are 20,000 a piece. You can only redeem for one of them. Like I know they recently just changed rules that you can only redeem for one of them. You used to be able to get all 3, even if you can, so as long as you can provide the points for them. And then to evolve them, you gotta use, and then there's a specific Gatcha that'll actually give them bonuses. Let's see, Pierce, Strike, and Slashing. Oh, so it goes up to SS plus actually. Oh, so the Evo materials go up to SS plus. So basically, yeah, these event dungeons, you just grab points and then you redeem them for the event monsters or event cards. Pretty good way to get your cards going until you can start rolling for some real stuff on the gacha. Alright, and then Colosseum, I can't really explain Colosseum at the moment. I mean, I would just say just look at some of my example match videos for the most part. I mean, I guess I can, when Colosseum starts up next week, I can do a tutorial primer on like what I think are good strats in Colosseum and whatnot. Yeah, and I'm still in Night League. What the hell? Alright. But yeah, PvP in this game, super fun, but there's like a whole completely different metagame that you need to use and versus, you know, when you play co-op with other people. Because when you play co-op with other people, there's specific like hands and strats that are really good. But in Colosseum, there's some that are like really good. Like you need specific cards and you gotta make sure your team is on point and whatnot. But anyways, so next up is the big one, the Gatcha. So the Gatcha is basically like if you ever played like Monster Strike or Puzzle Dora or any of those other Japanese style freaking like free to play games, is basically roll for higher level cards to increase your deck power. So in this case, so every week there's 3 selected cards. At least there should be 3 selected cards for every color, but I guess in this version they're only sticking to just 3 cards for 1 for each color. So this week's feature card is Hellhound, which is a really good bite card for his sub ability. Let's see, Dragon Azuro, a pretty good stabby card. I don't know. I don't really see anyone use Dragon Azuro. And then Lieutenant Grizzly, take it or leave it, really. Hellhound's really the only one I actually care about. Because with the bite, level 4 increases any cards with the bite ability, I think 20% damage. So basically every time you roll the gacha, it takes 4 dragon gems, right? So if you're looking for one specific color, I definitely recommend just doing, just rolling for that one color. But in the beginning, you should probably save up to 40 and just do the 11 chain mix. Because you'll just get a mix of all 3 plus 1 extra for the price of 10 rolls, basically. So let's see if I get Hellhound. This would be great if I got it right now. Oh, this might be good. Yo, I got Euphorina. Oh man, that's good. That's good. Oh, okay. So I was expecting to get something good, but Euphorina, one of the best link cards right there. Damn. So I have Snow White and Euphorina. One deck. I'm cool with that. Damn. All right. So yeah, that's the gacha. So you can get real lucky like that. You can just get it on the first try, the first roll like that. I don't know if it counts as just the first roll. I literally rolled 6 times before that, just to try to get Hellhound. Who else should I try to get? And then it shows a random selected list of who gets what recently. So you see that somebody got Garnet, Entire, Drunken Mandrill. Really? I guess Garnet. Garnet would not be too bad if you have a slashy card like Ranmaru. Or Nikita, even. Because their sub ability is actually really good for slashy cards. But yeah, I mean, you just gamble 4 stones at a time, and you just hope that you get something good. Actually, I want to try Fire again. Even though it just paid out. Yeah, it's not going to pay out again. Never pays out. Never pays out twice. Yeah, I can't say that there's a specific strategy to rolling. It's just hope for the best and keep rolling for a lot. So just save up your stones, just throw your stones at one color, and you'll get what you want eventually. Damn, not a bad roll though. I like that. Okay, and then next tab is the Friends tab. So this is where you can use to create a group to do private group chat. And when you start group chat, you can actually, go into dungeons together and start at the same time instead of starting late, missing the first round or whatever. And then view request. So either you're requesting or pending, you'll see accept or decline, friends, whatever. And then this is what you can use to search for people. Pretty basic stuff, really. Okay, next up is the... Okay, so I guess this is the real money shop here. So with the real money shop, you can basically buy dragon gems. So if you're really impatient and you don't want to wait a month to stockpile a frick ton of gems, you just go out and buy 170 for $100 or whatever. $12 for 16. That's good for what? 4 rolls. That's actually not. That's not bad. I wouldn't spend any money on this game. Okay, so, but actually the really important part is the expand storage. So right now my limit is at 110 cards. Right. So if I spend 1 gem, then I can raise it up 5 cards. So it adds 5 more slots. So I wouldn't recommend doing this so much in the beginning, but when there's a special event where there's a lot of Evo materials, like for example like club bag rolls, or if there's a ring dungeon going on, like a low like half SP ring dungeon, and you can just go in whenever, like you'll probably want like more space to hold all these Evo materials. That's the only reason why I probably did it when I was about level, I think 60, 70-ish in the Japanese version. Is just I just expanded my storage so I can hold on to all these rainbow rings and just use them later. And totally paid off. Totally worth, I think, like the 10 gems I totally put into it. But yeah, that's the real money shop right there. So medal exchange. So you get medals by doing Colosseum. You know, you get dragon medals or you get black medals. Like depending on like what, like. Well, actually no. For the dragon medals, you can get them in regular Colosseum play, but the black medals are event. Usually, in version 1.0, they're actually limited to event only. Like you can do the special event dungeons at the higher levels, and then the rewards are black medals and dragon medals. So you get a combination of both. They don't have any limited cards just yet in the shop. Okay, so with the monster cards, so if you don't want to be, arsed to freaking, get to capture cards, right? You can just pay a certain amount of medals and you get whatever you need. So in the 1.0 shop, actually, it's the low level stuff. But with version 2.1.2, you can actually get the higher level stuff, like the rainbow rings and the gold rings. So you don't actually have to do ring dungeon. If you have a whole bunch of dragon medals and you want to burn through them all, you can totally do that. But hopefully they'll update this on a faster track. I was kind of hoping that Dragon Ace would start out using 2.2 as a base, no 2.1.2 as a base instead of 1.0, but here we are still playing 1.0 Dragon Poker. And then the SP cards that you can get in the shop work on the Colosseum. So you have the versions of the shuffle that work in the Colosseum only. So shuffle 3, Colosseum, drop 2. I would say, actually, in the cards that I said that were required, I mean, I think I might recommend either getting one the card either drop 2 or drop 3. Depends on the situation if you have the card that you want to power up. But it's a random drop, so actually I don't know, it's like a risk versus reward thing. Like, take for example, you have a straight, right? It's you have a chance for an ace high straight, and in your hand you have the ace. Then you have a chance to drop 2 or 3 of your cards to power up that one card. On the chance that it doesn't get dropped, then hey, go for it, right? But it's really, really risky. So I don't know if I'd recommend it per se, but I don't know. It's something that some people do. And then Double Fusion. Double Link is, so that card I just got, the Euphorina, or for example Snow White that I currently have as my ace, you can actually have that one enhanced card enhance 2 different cards in the hand at the cost of 4,000 medals at the very least. And it costs 100 SP to use, so it's a pricey card both in purchasing and using it, but it's such a good card. And then other things that you can buy with medals, you can buy player point, you can get gold. Okay, so the most important thing actually in this list is the deck cost. So in the deck, right, you had like a certain amount of points that you can put in your deck, and when you pay 300 medals, you can actually increase that pointage by, I think, yeah, it's by 10, right, up to 3 times, so you can get actually up to 30. So for 900 medals, almost 1,000, yeah, for 900 medals, you can basically get increase your deck cost by 30, which isn't too bad because 30 is enough to put another SS card in your deck, which I may need to do. I don't know, because I don't think I can freely put Euphorina in there without taking a penalty. And I got Sparkling Marlins for my rolls. Oh yeah, and each time you roll the Gatcha, you do get a Evo material for that, for your troubles. Let's see, shout settings. So you can use this to customize your shout settings. And I think it's only like, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4. I think it's like a 16-20 character limit. I'm not sure. There's a really short limit on it though, because you're only meant to put like like Japanese characters in them. And you can say a lot more in Japanese than in English in 20 characters, honestly. And then you have setting, so you can set your BGM, sound effect levels, and your comment settings. And then, okay, well this will be interesting, but in the metal shop you can actually buy different system voices that call the hands and stuff. But right now, in version 1.0, it's just the default voice, but you can get like different ones later. You can get some really cool ones. And then the codes, yeah, if you have the PressCon serial for Dragon Ace, you can put that in. You can get your serial code, and then you can get your special card with it. And then there's other ID things you can put in. So basically, it's usually for like physical material, like promotions or whatever. And then the invite one, you can invite people. Actually, yeah, in 1.0 actually they just got rid of this in 2.12, but people can copy your invite ID, and then when you get someone to join, they put in your invitation ID, right? And then when they get up to level 20, you basically get, like, both you and the person who put in your code get 10 gems, and then you get 3 S rares. So you get what I think you get: the Flamenco, Dark Scorpion, and Platina, which are okay S rank cards, I guess. I guess if you're still a beginner, if you're still starting the game, it's actually really good. And I think that's about it, really. Oh, I gotta redeem my points. But yeah, normally, like for the event cards, I usually just get the usually just roll the Gatcha for the Evo materials. Because sometimes the Evo materials for some of these events are actually worth like really worth a lot. But most of the time, like, it's only applicable to the event card. But you can also still use them wherever if you want to level up a specific card. Let me see if I can put Ephraim in my deck. Because I'll be dropping one of these fools like a bad habit. I'm gonna say Red Wyvern, maybe. 180, 178, 106. Oh, looks like Desert Fox is actually gonna get the boot. Oh, I can't put Ephraim in here. She's not a 30 cost? Oh, she's at 26. And then, I'll do this. I don't have enough for her. Maybe I might be wasting something here. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Okay. Whatever. Get more Marins later. Oh, looks like I'll be on the hunt for red Evo materials. Yep, max level. So now I can evolve her once I get the materials, which is 2 gold rings. I'll get that when the red dungeon shows up tomorrow. Well, that's pretty much it for the beginner primer for Dragon Poker Dragon Ace. Hope you enjoyed it. I will try to probably make a Colosseum and a deck building tutorial pretty soon. I mean, I guess I could just do it with the Japanese version and just show you what I got. I'll do it later. I mean, really, I just didn't want to be too overarching with this, but hopefully I covered everything. If I missed anything, go ahead, put it in the comments if you have any questions about, like, general ideas or anything that you might have a question about in this game. So, because I know I don't think I explained certain things, but hopefully I covered just about everything a beginner player should know about this game, for the most part. But hopefully you enjoyed it, and I'll see y'all later.